All right, it is 4 o'clock, so I'm going to call this executive committee to order. It is 4 p.m. Roll call, it looks like we have all members present, so welcome back, farmers. I think you guys are done with your planting. Glad to have you back in the meetings. Item 2 is the consent agenda. I need a motion for 2A and B. Motion by Member Abel, second by Vice Chair Rogal. Any comments or questions about the meeting minutes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next up, we have item number 3, requests to speak by members of the public or county employees. Ms. Taylor, do we have anyone tonight?
Chair Johnston, we've had no requests this evening.
Excellent. Okay, moving on. Item number 4, we have board appointments and reappointments. It is just reappointments today for the McLean County Board of Review, Ethics Commission of McLean County. We've got 2 members being reappointed, so can I get a motion for item 4B? Motion by Burns, second by Friedrich. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Moving on, item number 5 under departmental matters. 5A1A is the Information Technologies Department, Mr. Nelson. We have 2 items. 5A1A1 is request approval for a purchase of HP Inc. Aruba switches through the Joint Purchasing Master Contract. Can I have a motion? Motion by Rogal. Can I have a second? Second by Klein. I will allow Mr. Nelson.
Mr. Berger, my Assistant Director of IT, did the legwork on this, so I'll allow him to address
All
that.
right, thank you. Welcome.
So this is the annual replacement of switches that are slated to be end of life and replaced this year. It's anticipated that we'll be doing, planning on doing this one every year going forward, replacing a batch of them.
Okay, so is that to prevent failures?
Yeah, prevent failures, keep them up to date, make sure we can still apply all the security feature updates to them.
Excellent, thank you. Any other questions from the committee? Seeing none, all in favor of item 5A1A1, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. Next up, we have item 5A1A2, request approval of change order for the purchase of professional services hours. And can I have a motion? Motion by Member Burns, second by Member Klein. I'll turn that back over to you.
Thank you. So this is on the replacement of the records management system with law enforcement. This is part of the larger Aegis replacement. This particular project has grown in complexity past what we originally estimated, mainly due to all the interfaces. And at the time that we did this procurement, we didn't know what the new 911 system would be and what the new court systems would be. So there were a lot of unknowns of this as well. We're at the point where we have burned all the hours in the T&M and we need additional money to move forward, including a trainer refreshing. The amount of the request is $89,600 to come out of the shared sales tax fund.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Seeing none from it. Oh, yes, Member Rogal.
Do you expect this to be able to cover us to launch, or do you think that?
To
Might have to
launch of
come
the
back.
RMS system, I do anticipate, there's always unknown unknowns, there's known risk and unknown risk. I do anticipate that there are issues that need to be addressed that will be addressed after we go live. Some of those we're aware of, but we don't have them fully scoped yet. We don't have a full cost on them yet. So I do expect to come back one more time following this, but this is to get us live and moving. This project is a dependency in order to take the new jail system live and the court system live. And there's also interaction with the 911 system, though we're not handcuffing those to each other.
Any other questions? All right. Seeing none, all in favor of item 5A1A2, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Moving on, item 5A1B, it is this is our first monthly ERP project summary report. So I guess I'd like to ask you to kind of go over the highlights of it, and then really in the next month what your focus is would be helpful.
Sure. Let me just get the right paper in front of me here. So the ERP, as we're replacing our financial and HR system, payroll system. So the current system is New World ERP. The new system we're putting in is owned by the same parent company, Tyler Technologies. The name of that system is Munis. So we are currently well underway, and there are several meetings per week going on right now. Right now, we are focusing on the financial system, which we are looking at, actually part of the budget policy addresses some of this, but we'll be looking at going live at the end of this year with that in November. So if we take a look at the highlights here, we have a new internal project manager that we contracted with, Sanford Hess. And he helped put this report together for us. It kind of covers all the breakout areas. He has communication there, frankly, because not everyone involved in the project has been fully communicative. And so while the treasurer's office has been participating fully, we haven't had regular communication from the auditor in a timely manner. And so that's there. We are so far still on schedule and everything is moving along, but it is a risk that we're looking to make sure that we stay aware of.
Okay, so that's what you're kind of focused on for the next month, is get those, because I think the chart of accounts
Yes.
is the bottleneck right now.
And that is getting fully worked on. Cassie might actually be able to address that. She's been in a little bit more of those meetings than I have for chart of accounts. Is that okay to kick that to you?
Sure. So yes, in conversations and project management, team meetings with Tyler, as well as our staff, has been indicated that the first big piece of the ERP transition is the chart of accounts. And when you're redoing your chart of accounts, like for instance, our chart of accounts hasn't been updated in probably 20 years. And so part of that effort is updating things to more current GFOA standards, any language that's different or changed in the last 20 years, any accounting standards that have changed, making sure that those efforts are up to date. And so our hired consultant, our project manager, Sanford Hess, as well as Kathy Dreyer and Rebecca McNeil have been working diligently with Tyler staff. In fact, that they're in a meeting right now. They've been in an all-day meeting right now. They're hoping to wrap up the definitions and the workflow on that and be able to turn that over to the Tyler team for their piece of it, which is rebuilding it into their new system. So we're hoping that first piece can be done soon. And so if it can be, then we will still be on schedule.
Excellent. So when you say soon, are we talking in the next month, in the next 2 weeks?
In the
What are
next
we
couple
hoping for?
days.
Okay,
Yeah, they're hoping to wrap it up today or tomorrow as far as our piece with chart of accounts. So
okay.
there are dozens and dozens of pieces, but this is the first major piece.
Excellent. Okay. Any other questions? Yes, Member Friedrich.
What are the delays you're experiencing from the auditor? Can you give me some examples?
I don't know that I have strong specifics right here, but it's been questions that have been sent by email, for instance, from the project manager, and then just no response or lack of response. But he is, I believe, hoping to meet with her on Wednesday. So we're hoping that things will improve at that point. We do have a couple of other major things that we're working on too. We're cleaning up the vendor file. We've drawn some lines on the sand on how much data we're going to convert. And we're working with the third-party company that's already part of the contract to get them access to the system, because they'll be housing whatever data we don't convert into kind of a third-party virtual warehouse that'll remain available for lookup. So those are some of the other efforts that are underway concurrently.
I believe we could provide more detailed risks in next month's report.
Excellent.
Okay.
Any other questions? It's an exciting transition that we're making, challenging for sure, but I hope that we can meet our November deadline. and kick off the new year with.
I am really excited about this. There are so many workflows and efficiencies that have come along since we went into the system we're using now. And I think I'm really actually most excited for the HR folks because HR is only 4 years old. So when the system we're using today was purchased, it wasn't bought with HR in mind. And the folks in that department have done a great job of cobbling together solutions patchwork-wise over the years to make things work. But they're going to actually get real tools, and employees will have their own pay stub kiosk and things that many of you have probably used for 20 years now. But so it'll be exciting.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, moving on, we have item 5A2, A1, and that is request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2025 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for Fund 0007. Can I have a motion? Motion by Abel, second by Rogal. Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 5A2A1, say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item is 5A2A2, request approval of an amended contract with the Center for Youth and Family Solutions for Care Coordinated Services based on an updated award from the System of Care Grant. Can I have a motion? Motion by Lehman, second by Klein. Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 5A2A2, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next up, we have item 5A2A3, request approval of an amended contract with the Center for Youth Psychiatric Services based on the updated award of the System of Care Grant. Can I have a motion? Motion by Burns, second by Abel. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 5A2A3, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Last item up for action is 5A2A4, request approval of an amended contract with the Baby Fold for intensive home and community-based services based on updated award from the System of Care Grant. And can I have a motion? Motion by Rogal, second by Friedrich. Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 5A2A4, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next up, we have item 5A2B, and that is the quarterly report, and we do have Ms. Landreth here, and you brought someone with you.
I did. I brought Kelly Amagoni with me, who is the project director for the System of Care Grant, who's been doing excellent and diligent work on managing that grant and updating our contracts. So I brought her with me today in case there were any specific questions about those changes. The report that you have in front of you covers, of course, our departmental programs and a lot of the work of Behavioral Health Coordinating Council. So there's updated information on how Fuse has continued to grow in client size, as well as ways that we've been interacting with the community, as well as information about the different training events that RISE, Reconnects, Inspires, Supports, and Empowers has been putting on this month, as well as good progress on an event that will be youth-focused later on in the summer and the Behavioral Health Forum in the winter. As well as some exciting updates on the work groups of Behavioral Health Coordinating Council. There's information about, we partnered with Marisol Marketing in March to get a new logo for Behavioral Health Coordinating Council. We're really excited to have that be included in the rollout of the Behavioral Health Action Plan revision, which we're thick in the middle of right now. It's been good work, bringing up good conversations, and I'm really excited to be able to have a plan that is useful for both my department and something that's accessible to our community that the council as a whole is invested in and excited about and can see themselves in as we build it, which is very exciting. I am happy to answer any questions that you guys have about the report.
I'll open it up to the committee. Who's got questions? We are having our big rewrite session. It is an all-day. I'll be rolling from one meeting into this one. It is literally like 8:30 to 4
Yes.
on Thursday to try to hammer through all of the individual work groups and trying to find a cohesive, the rewrite for the plan. The idea being that we provide goals that we are looking to achieve in the community and opportunities for agencies in the community to seek financial support to make sure that those things can happen. So I'm really pleased with the direction that we're headed and looking forward to that work session. It'll be a long day, but it'll be a good session, I think, and create a very workable plan moving forward. So if nobody has any other questions, yes, Mr. Member Byrne.
Sounds like we're busy. We got fingers in a lot of pies and moving in a lot of directions, and it's all happening relatively quickly. So it's awesome to see all the action and all the movement, and very excited to see what direction we go with it. So
Thank you. Yes,
congratulations,
you
good
were
luck,
correct.
and-
It's been very busy.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, it's very exciting times. Thank you very much.
But part of it is we've just had really good conversations about what is the purpose of the body, what is our mission, and then how do we see that playing out in the community? And that's been something that I think has been needed, and people have really enjoyed having those conversations to see it moving forward. So, all right. So moving on, we have item 5B, and that is Finance Committee, and I'll turn over to Chair Lehman.
Thank you, Chair Johnston. The Finance Committee has 4 items to be presented for action this evening. Item number, 5B1A is the request approval of an agreement for animal control shelter services with the City of Bloomington, and I so move.
May I have a second? Second by Member Byrne. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 5B1A, say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Back to you.
Thank you again. Item number 5B1B is the request approval of the agreement with animal control for warden services within the City of Bloomington, and I so move.
Can I have a second? Second by Member Abel. Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 5B1B, say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Back to you, Chair Lehman.
Thank you again. 5B1C takes us to the request approval of a resolution establishing the budget policy for fiscal year 2026, and I so move.
May I have a second? Second by Member Byrne. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 5B1C, say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. And back to you for your last item.
Thank you yet again. 5B1D is the request approval of Schedule A, calendar for preparation of the fiscal year 2026 budget and 5-year capital improvement budget, and I so move.
Can I have a second? Second by Member Friedrich. Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 5B1D, say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, Chair Lehman, any other items?
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have no other items to be presented for action, but we will have 4 additional items to be presented for the board, and I'm here to answer any additional questions you might have.
All right, thank you so much. Seeing no other questions, moving on to item 5C, and that is Health Committee with Chair Byrne.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Health Committee has no items for action today.
Thank you so much. Moving on, item 5D, Justice Committee, and that is Vice Chair Rogel.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Justice Committee has 3 items to be presented tonight for action. 5D1A is request approval of the State of Illinois intergovernmental agreement between the Illinois Department of Healthcare and Family Services and McLean County State's Attorney, agreement number 2026-55-013-ILGA, and I so move.
May I have a second? Second by Member Byrne. Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 5D1A, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Back to you.
All right, next up, we have 5D1B, request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2025 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for Fund 0001, Circuit Court 0016, and I so move.
May I have a second? second by Member Byrne. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 5D1C, say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. And back to you.
Last up, we have 5D1C, request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2025 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for Fund 0001, Sheriff's Department 0029, and I so move.
May I have a second? Second by Member Klein. Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 5D1C, say aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes.
That's the end of our items for action tonight. We will have 3 items be presented to the board on Thursday. And I can answer any questions if anyone has any.
Thank you so much. Moving on, item 5E, Property Committee, Member Abel.
Thank you very much. The Property Committee has no items for action tonight, but we do have 2 items that will come before the county board.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Moving on, item 5F, Land Use and Transportation, with Member Klein.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. The Land Use and Transportation Committee brings 1 item for action this evening. It's 5F. 1A, request approval of an intergovernmental agreement for rural public transportation services with Connect Transit, and I so move.
Excellent. May I have a second? Second by Member Abel. Any comments or questions? This is something that we've been working on pretty diligently since about mid-January. Against all odds, a few people thought we weren't going to get it past the IGA, but we are now here. Connect Transit is very eager and excited about taking over, and we are starting with the service as it stands right now. But their wheels are already spinning. They're already starting to reach out to other agencies for collaboration to be expanding that service and what might look like in phase 2. Looking at corridors for veterans, looking at employment corridors who will need transportation, and then they will just continue to, they hope to expand from there. We will be using approximately a quarter of the funds that might be, that we're allowed to apply for from IDOT. And so we will still have room to grow the program before we can start looking at is there any kind of funding from us that might be involved? So right now, this is all state funding that will cover the current system and the expansion for rural transportation into McLean County, into Bloomington Normal, or to other places that they might need care and services. So very excited about this. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 5F1A, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you so much, Chairperson Johnson. The Land Use and Transportation Committee will be bringing, with the great assistance of the Vice Chair Reeves, on Thursday, 3 items to the board, and I'm happy to answer any other questions about those or anything else that you might have them.
Any other questions? Seeing none, we will move on to item 5G, and that is a report from our County Administrator, Ms. Taylor.
Thank you. I have 2 items for your consideration this evening. The first one is an action item to request approval of payment of invoices, and that is on page 100. I believe this is the last installment you will see from me.
May I have a motion? Motion by Friedrich. May I have a second? Motion by Abel. Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 5G1A, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next up.
Next is a request to authorize the county administrator to offer a salary above that identified in section 5A3 of the 2025 compensation plan. That was submitted to you under separate cover through email. And if there is a need to go into closed session, I'll have to read off those,
Excellent.
that section.
All right, so let's get the motion on the floor, and that is 5G1B. Do I have a motion? Motion by Abel, second by Vice Chair Rogel. Is there any request to go into closed session for discussion? Seeing none, then we will go take a vote on this. Yes. Member
I'd like
Klein.
to just make a comment that does not require us to go into closed session.
Excellent.
I just want to say this is the second time this month that we've entertained, one part or another, have entertained something similar to this. And I just want to say that I think it's really good that the different areas are bringing to us opportunities to get people because we have vacancies, right? And doing the best you can to make sure that we secure hires is really important. So I appreciate that people are taking that step
Yes.
so we can land some new employees.
Excellent. Any other comments or questions? All right. Seeing none, all in favor of item 5G1B, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. I have no other items to be presented this evening. I do want to say that I want to acknowledge Assistant County Administrator Tony Grant. He has been selected for the Stars for Life this year. And so he's going to be in the hot seat to promote the program, and then we will have the opportunity to promote him. Also, at our full board meeting, I will be listing out the names of the recent leadership graduates. We have completed our first Growing McLean County Leadership Curriculum. It started last fall and has continued through the spring. They just received their certificates of completion within this last month, and so we want to honor them as our inaugural class. But we hope to see this program continue and build a leadership team that supports each other interdepartmentally.
Excellent. Any other business or communication from the committee? Seeing none, our next meeting is going to be June 9th at 4 p.m., and I call this meeting adjourned.